Not that one, not that. I asked you to play your hit, man. No, no, get on, Knopfler, get off, get off. Not, I told you not that one. How many times did I tell you? Get off, go on, off. I told him 25 times not to play that one. I told him to play his hit. Now that I've got a proper turn for you coming on. You might be back later if you're good, you know. if you get a bit behaves yourself. We've got a fantastic young lady coming on now. You might have heard on Radio 4, a very, very, very funny Geordie poet. Will you please welcome KFatSS? Thank you.
Hiya. That was sort of a relief, because when they said that Mark Knopfler was going to be pulled off before I got on stage, wondered what sort of show I'd got myself into, really. You'll notice as we go along that I've got quite a distinctive voice. I would just like to say I think it's cruel that the word lisp has got an S in it. In a similar way to how it's cruel that the word dyslexia is difficult to spell. It's brilliant to be here among all these North East superstars. I'm actually originally from Bradford, whose only famous people ever have been Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, and Gareth Gates. Both of whom are notorious for their very long sentences. And I always feel really safe in Newcastle, and I know that there's never going to be a suicide bomber from Newcastle, because it's an essential requirement of the job that you're willing to keep your coat on outside. It's never going to happen, is it? We're safe. Phew. I'm sometimes a bit surprised that I became a poet, because I used to think that poets were posh and dead, and I am neither. But I'll do a few of my verses. This one's inspired by, you know the kids' nursery rhyme, There Was a Man Called Michael Finnegan? Well, I thought, how could no one have ever updated this to be about Judy Finnegan? Don't worry, I took on the challenge for you. Okay. There was a woman called Judy Finnegan. Her boobs fell out, then got popped in again. She's getting on, might never be thin again. Poor old Judy Finnegan, begin again. There was a hobby for Judy Finnegan. After the Tesco's fiasco, he'll never sin again. And she sometimes wakes thinking, oh no, not him again. Poor old Judy Finnegan, begin again. There was a show for Judy Finnegan. Ratings were falling, the show in a spin again. Her hands still shaking. Was she on the gin again? Poor old Judy Finnegan, begin again. Stop. Thank you. So a bit more about me. I'm 34. I live in North Shields, so that makes me old enough to be a great-grandmother there. But I've decided that I don't want children at all, really. So I was quite excited to see recently that you can now transplant whole wombs. So mine is for sale, so I thought, right, cash in. Advertise it on eBay, maybe. So the advert I came up with, womb with a view, warm, cosy, welcoming entrance, no rear access, well-trimmed topiary, authentic period features. And I thought I'd attract the Londoners by pointing out how it's near not one but two tubes. I shouldn't applaud that, really. Thank you. Another poem, this is quite a long title, but a short poem. The title is Notes on the Equivalence of Existential Questioning and a Geordie Exclamation. And this is the poem. Why I? Why I? Why I? Existentialism on a Sunday night. I am currently on a diet at the moment, as most of the time. So I've been very excited to discover, I'll share this with you, that if you eat celery, right, it takes more calories to consume than it actually contains. So that is negative calories. So I thought that's brilliant. And then my boyfriend pointed out there is actually another substance that takes more calories to consume than it actually contains. I could see some of you were ahead of me here in the City Hall. He's had a real spurt of interest in my dietary habits ever since. In fact, if I spit now instead of swallow, he worries I'm becoming bulimic. Gives a whole new meaning to a slim, fast shake, I can tell you. Any fans of Trinny and Susanna in? Trinny and Susanna, they're right. No, indeed, I know, but right, I cannot help it. It's as if their voices have entered my head now, and so when I'm shopping, I hear them. This is dedicated to them. It's called Internal Fashion Police. Trinny and Susanna living in my head, saying lilac doesn't suit me. I must wear taupe instead. Trinny and Susanna, I heard them in my brain saying 9-inch heels are out, just ignore the pain. Trinny and Susanna broadcast from my skull, said without La Perla undies, I would never pull. Trinny and Susanna made me criticise my chums, even made me ask my friend if that cardie was her mum's. Trinny and Susanna used to make me feel quite violent. But since I became a nudist, they've both gone strangely silent. What a lovely gig to do. Thank you. I will just conclude with this poem, which is a kind of true story of how, basically, every bloke that I have ever gone out with seems to have only gone out with tiny girls before they go out with me. And I don't know why they suddenly then go to someone who's kind of, average to slightly larger than average size. And it made me annoyed. And, I found when I looked through their old letters, photos, diaries, etc., it was just annoying. Perfectly normal behaviour, surely, City Hall. So I'll dedicate this to any women in the audience who are under 5'2". I won't ask you to wave or shout or anything. You don't want to be using valuable energy there. No. So, small girlfriends. He treads on them by accident. They slip behind the settee. They can't see out of car windows and they're lost in a crowd of 3. They're his small girlfriends, compact and neat, but I'm 5'7" with size 8 feet. He'd to rescue one from Toys R Us when she nearly fetched 10 quid. Mistaken for a Barbie doll or a life-size Cabbage Patch Kid. They're his small girlfriend, tiny and complete, but I'm 5'7" with size 8 feet. He heard a scrabbling and a scratching, persistent little squeaks. Not a mouse behind the cooker, someone he hadn't seen for weeks. It was his small girlfriend, delicate and sweet, while I'm 5'7" with size 8 feet. He can pop them in his pocket and carry them round all day. If he takes one to a theme park, he doesn't have to pay. They're his small girlfriends, economical to treat, while I'm 5'7" with size 8 feet. They make him look so masculine. They make him feel so strong. And next to their tiny tootsies, his willy looks really long. They're his small girlfriends, difficult to beat when you're 5'7" with size 8 feet. Thank you very much. I'll just leave you with the thought that, as I'm sure you know, most performers are very different off stage than they are on stage, and I suppose I'm quite like this, but not completely. And it's for the best, isn't it? Like, imagine, for example, if the bloke who announces the balls on the National Lottery programme spoke like that at home. That's the milk coming out of the fridge, followed by the cornflakes. Surprise appearance there by the Tabasco sauce. Or even worse, if he spoke like that in bed with his wife. That's my balls emerging from my trousers for only the second time this year. Looks like it's going to be a rollover night tonight. I'll leave you on that thought. You've been lovely. Thank you very much. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Kate Fox. Wasn't she wonderful?